member, and Superintendent Genaro Manso Jr., provisional member and user PPP. Likewise, we have in attendance the head and members of the technical working group, head and members of the BAC Secretariat. On the part of the loan bidder, we have Ms. Imelda Ignacio and Maria Teresa Uwa from Arms Force Shooting Center Incorporated, joint venture with Squires Bingham Company Incorporated.
Thank you. Considering that our voting chair declares that there's a quorum, the late about PGCS number 067/2020 come forward. Madam Secretary, can you expect today?
We have 4 items in our agenda, Mr. Chair. Number 1 is the approval of minutes of the previous BAC meetings, HO-BAC PGCS number 058 and 059/2020, dated September 25, 2020. Number 2 is the opening of bids for the supply and delivery of police safety equipment and tactical gear. Number 3 is the post-qualification report for the supply, delivery, and installation of body scanning machines, phase 2. Number 4, bid evaluation report for the supply, delivery, and installation of engineering software, 3D computer-aided design engineering software for PPA head office and port management offices nationwide, and the supply and delivery of maintenance services for enterprise storage array and related equipment.
There are 220 December is ano, December is September. Mga December babies, pinanganak. Sabi ko birthday ni John bukas, November siya.
Parang sir.
Birthday din ni Jan, kasabay ni ano, ni Chair.
Sir.
Alin ang may birthday bukas. Kaya kita-kita tayo sa kami din.
Kailan next schedule natin?
November.
So, kailan schedule natin next meeting?
Next meeting,
Thursday, Wednesday.
Wednesday, 21.
Nakikita ko na tayo sa
Ay, 14.
21 pa rin ako eh.
Sa magpapakain.
14. Ang dami natin nag-schedule.
Apat to. Apat ang schedule na.
Ay, yan mo, kakasya.
Ay, sir, wag ka pumasok bukas kasi wala kami.
Kagabihin nga tayo. Sabay sa lunch ng
Bayad po. Ikaw pa rin ang mag-ano nun. Ikaw pa rin ang host.
Jo, okay na minute.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the previous minutes of the previous BAC meetings, HO-BAC PGCS numbers 058059, both dated 25 September 2020.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the minutes meeting, the resolution that we there is an amendment to PGCS numbers 058-2020 and 059-2020, both held on September 25, 2020. Are hereby approved as presented. Let's proceed to the next item of business, the opening of bids. Talia?
For the supply and delivery of police safety equipment and tactical gear, we have a lone bidder, and that is Arms for Shooting Center Incorporated, joint venture with Squires Bingham Company Incorporated.
Thank you. Thank you, our working group. We will open the first event.
May I proceed, Mr. Chair? The technical proposal of the joint venture of Arms for Shooting Center Incorporated and Squires Bingham Company Incorporated, complied with the packaging requirements set forth in the instructions to bidders. It contains 7 copies, 1 original and 6 duplicates, all hardbound, book-bound, and properly labeled with index stamps. It conforms to the requirements of bid submission and hence acceptable, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Unless there are objections, there's nothing fine for the technical procedure evaluation.
Ang galing ko na. Hindi, ano ko lang, plastic yun ako. Ginawain ko na.
Para sa
Yes, ma'am po. Oh. Nasa back meeting po, ma'am. Bakit po? Oh. Yes, ma'am. Okay po. Nasa akin yung laptop niya, ma'am eh. Pero nandito siya sa, naka-join din siya sa back meeting. Nandito kasi ako sa taas. Pero naka-join po siya sa ano eh, sa back meeting, ma'am. Yes po, ma'am. Apo, Zoom po. Malamang okay. Siguro settings lang po, ma'am. O yung laptop na ginagamit niya. Hindi ko lang kung anong ginamit. At tawag na lang po sa 522, ma'am. Apo. Yes, ma'am.
Kasi para naman yung compliance sa direction para sa kailangan we already returned to our surrender. Replacement. Coming from papahamak sila pa ng
All good details.
pag matapos ang ibig sabihin ng CDF, ginagamit
Ano ba? Ito lang ba? Yan. Ano mo lang yun, di ba? Nakakuha to.
May sulat yung Paul Rodriguez. Yan ang dream ko. Huwag kang ano, Miss Aga.
Good morning, as a technical team group completed simulation.
Mr. Chair.
Proceed to your report.
The members of the joint venture Armscore Shooting Center Incorporated and Squires Bingham Company Incorporated both submitted their PhilJet certificate of registration valid until June 1, 2021 and September 28, 2021 respectively. The joint venture passed the legal requirement.
For the technical requirement, Underscore Shooting Center Incorporated, Squires Bingham Company Incorporated, joint venture, submitted a duly accomplished statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, and statement of single largest completed contract, similar to the contract review, which is the supply and delivery of 3,121 units helmet level 3, lot 1, with the Philippine National Police, whose amount is more than 50% of the ABC and was completed on June 9, 2018. Further, its technical proposal conforms with all the technical specifications as enumerated and specified in the bidding document, and Underscore Shooting Center Incorporated and Squires Bingham Company Incorporated joint venture passed the technical requirements.
For the financial requirement, the joint venture, they submitted an FCC computation based on the audited reference of Armscore Corporation in the amount of 5.69 billion, which is sufficient to cover the full budget for the contract. The joint venture passed the financial requirement.
The joint venture submitted a duly signed and notarized bid securing declaration and an omnibus warrant statement with attached joint venture agreement. In view of the result of the evaluation for legal, technical, financial, and other requirements, the PWG recommends that the technical proposal of the joint venture between Armscore Shooting Center Incorporated and Squires Bingham Company Incorporated be declared as passed.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of the PWG recommendation declaring Armscore Shooting Center Incorporated joint venture with Squires Bingham Company Incorporated to have passed the first envelope for the technical requirements.
Yes, I think that they can do that recommendation of technical team group, your petition will Underscore Shooting Center Incorporated, Squires Bingham Company Incorporated, joint venture, is already declared to pass the first
The financial proposal of the joint venture between Arms for Shooting Center Incorporated and Squares Bingham Company Incorporated complied with the packaging requirements set forth in the instructions to bidders. It contains 7 copies, 1 original and 6 duplicate, all hardbound, book-bound, properly labeled with index tabs. It conforms to the requirements of bid submission and hence acceptable restriction.
Thank you. There's no objection. We are adopting the same for the public input. Yeah, before being submitted by Art Store, Shooting Center Incorporated, Wires Bingham Company Incorporated joint venture for the supply and delivery of police safety equipment and practical gear. Total amount of bid, 30,896,300 pesos only.
The joint venture submitted the required bid form, including the bid prices and applicable price schedule. Hence, the PWG recommends that the financial proposal of the joint venture between Arms for Shooting Center Incorporated and Squares Bingham Company Incorporated be declared as passed.
30 million.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of the PWG recommendation declaring Arms for Shooting Center Incorporated joint venture with Squares Bingham Company Incorporated be declared as passed for the financial requirements of the secretary.
Parang 2 times na tayo.
This is with regard to the documentation of the sector of Timber, the petition thereto. There we have, as for Shooting Center Incorporated, Squares Bingham Company Incorporated, joint venture, shooting here the back department. Second, and to the sector of Timber. Let's proceed to the next item on the agenda, the post qualification report. Next, also presentations on this report.
Post qualification report.
The bidders are excused. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, post qualification report on Boston Home Incorporated relative to the supply, delivery, and installation of body scanning machines, phase 2 under BAC PGCS 045-2020. Based on the duly approved bid evaluation report and as per instruction of the BAC, the PWG conducted a post qualification on October 6, 2020 on Boston Home Incorporated. After verification, it was established that the bidder complied with all the legal, technical, financial, and other requirements for the said procurement. Further, Boston Home Incorporated is not included in the list of blacklisted entities as of October 6, 2020 per GPPB website. Based on the results of the post-qualification, the PWG recommends that the bid proposal of Boston Home Incorporated at its calculated bid price of 374,500,000 pesos be declared as a single calculated and responsive bid pursuant to Rule 10, Section 34 of the 2016 revised IRR of Republic Act 9184. Mr. Chair, I move for the approval, adoption of the PWG recommendation, declaring Boston Coal Incorporated with its calculated bid price of 374,500,000 pesos be declared as a single calculated and responsive bid pursuant to Rule 10, Section 34 of the 2016 revised IRR of 9184.
Yes, it was under that recommendation of the Tech Working Group contained in their post-qualification report on Boston Home Incorporated for supply to the installation of body scanning machine. Page 2, verification there being entity proposed from Boston Home Incorporated that calculated the price of 374,500,000 pesos. Is hereby declared as a single calculated responsive bid pursuant to Rule 1074 of the 2016 revised IRR of the Republic Act number 3184. Secretary of Strategy for preparation of the necessary resolution and notice. Let's proceed to the next item on our agenda, the bid evaluation report. Is the technical working group ready with its report? Proceed.
Mr. Chair, bid evaluation report for the supply, delivery, and installation of engineering software, 3D computer-aided design engineering software for PA head office and port management offices nationwide, BAC PGCS 180 2020. The approved budget for the contract will be as published advertised 26 million. The invitation to bid for the said procurement was posted on September 9, 2020 in the PPA and Field Checks website and at conspicuous place at the PPA premises continuously for 7 calendar days. In response thereto, Columbia Technologies Incorporated secured the bid documents in the amount of 25,000. During the private conference held on September 18, 2020, the BAC clarified the requirements, terms, conditions, and specifications stipulated in the bidding documents, the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid. Columbia Technologies drafted its technical and financial bids in the respective bid boxes before the deadline of 9 a.m. on October 2. In the presence of the bidders' representatives, the first envelope, Columbia Technologies, was opened and checked by the BAC members to determine the bidders' compliance with the legal, technical, financial, and other requirements. After due evaluation by the BAC and on motion duly made and properly seconded, Columbia Technologies Incorporated was declared as passed with the requirements of the first envelope. Thereafter, the second envelope, Columbia Technologies, was opened. The documentary requirements were checked and the bid price was read by the chairperson and then recorded. Upon motion duly made and properly seconded, Columbia Technologies was declared as passed with the requirements for the second envelope. The first step to determine the lowest calculated bid. Detailed evaluation of the bid of Columbia Technologies amounting to 35,815,000 was undertaken. The bid offer of Columbia Technologies Incorporated conformed to the required items specified in the bid form. No deviation or computational errors were found in the bid proposal of Columbia Technologies. Pursuant to Rule 9, Section 32 of RA 914, revised IRR of RA 9184, and based on the result of the bid evaluation, PWG recommends to declare Columbia Technologies Incorporated at its calculated bid price of 35,815,000 the single calculated bidder of the cost and the post qualification be conducted on the said bidder.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of the WG recommendation declaring Columbia Technologies Incorporated with a calculated bid price of 35,815,000 pesos as a single calculated within the post-qualification be conducted.
It will take under the documentation of the title of implementation evaluation report for the supply delivery installation of engineering software, 3D computer aided design engineering software for PPA head office and port management offices nationwide. So a application there being none. Columbia Technologies Incorporated has calculated bid price of 35,815,000 pesos is hereby declared as a single calculated winner. Technical working group here service proceeded a post qualification with procedure in next report.
Bid evaluation report for the supply and delivery of maintenance services for enterprise storage array and related equipment, BAC PGCS 151-2020. The approved budget for the contract to be bid as published and advertised is 3,200,000 pesos. The invitation to bid for the said procurement was posted on September 9, 2020 in the PPA and PhilCheck's websites and at a conspicuous place at the PPA premises continuously for 7 calendar days. In response thereto, Info Storage Corporation secured the bid documents in the amount of 5,000 pesos. During the pre-bid conference held on September 18, 2020, the BAC clarified the requirements, terms, conditions, and specifications stipulated in the bidding document, the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid. Info Storage Corporation dropped its technical and financial bids in the respective bid boxes before the deadline of 1 p.m. on October 2, 2020. In the presence of the bidders' representatives, the first envelope of Info Storage Corporation was opened and checked by the BAC members to determine the bidders' compliance to the legal, technical, financial, and other requirements. After the evaluation by the BAC and the motion duly made and properly seconded, Info Storage Corporation was declared as passed with the requirements for the first envelope. Thereafter, the second envelope of Info Storage Corporation was opened. The documentary requirements were checked and the bid price was read by the chairperson and then recorded. Upon motion duly made and properly seconded, Info Storage Corporation was declared as passed with the requirements for the second envelope. As a first step to determine the lowest calculated bid, detailed evaluation of the bid of Info Storage amounting to 3,200,000 pesos was undertaken. The bid offer of Info Storage Corporation conforms to the required items specified in the bid form. No deviation or computational errors were found in the bid proposal of Info Storage Corporation. Pursuant to Rule 9, Section 32 of the 2016 Revised Minor R of the Republic Act Number 9184, and based on the result of the bid evaluation, the PWG recommends to declare Info Storage Corporation at a calculated bid price of 3,200,000 pesos as a single calculated bidder and the post-qualification be conducted on the said bidder.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of the PWG recommendation declaring Info Storage Corporation with a calculated bid price of 3,200,000 pesos as a single calculated bidder and the post-qualification be conducted.
It's been moved that the candidate will adopt recommendation of technical working group that contain the feasibility report for the supply and delivery of maintenance services for enterprise storage, array, and related. Great petition there. There we have Info Storage Corporation has calculated bid price of 3,200,000 pesos, which are very clear as a single calculated bidder. That's what includes the administrative procedure post qualification testing. Let's get back to anything else.
None, Mr. Chair.
There being none, the